Well, hello there and welcome to a new bonus video I'll be doing as part of the Film a Day series. So this will be my reflections on the week of films. So I'm going to take each film that I looked at in the preceding week and give a very short summary of my experience of it, so that I can it gives me more of a sense of reflection for what I've seen, rather than doing a review and throwing it out and then forgetting the film. The function of this is partly so that hopefully you, the viewer, can get a sense of each film that I've watched this week, and I can reflect upon each thing and decide what my feelings are towards it with more time and perspective. So, here we go. March 1st. Or the week of March 1st. So, on Monday, I saw the 1988 Coming to America. This is a comedy classic. This is one of the best comedies, possibly of all time, with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall just at their peak. I mean, I do need to go back and watch Beverly Hills Cop. I will confess that. And I personally don't like Trading Places, but so for me, this is Eddie Murphy at his best. And I just think the style of comedy, the satire, it all really appeals to me. And it's just brilliant. It's just 80s comedy brilliance. Tuesday, The Place Beyond the Pines. This was an interesting crime drama with... It's got a really interesting turn for Ryan Gosling, and it's a 3-act film where each act is almost its own self-contained film and has this interesting story about how crime really comes about, how someone goes from undereducated, well-intentioned to criminal, how a police officer can struggle with their morality, and how young men are defined by the actions of their fathers. And it's very much about fatherhood. And I do think this is an interesting film, ambitious, and it doesn't quite hit the ambition, but still interesting. Wednesday, A Call to Spy. This is a case of a film being perfectly competent, and that feels like it's damning with faint praise. There is nothing palpably wrong with this film. It feels like it's trying so hard to tell you a historical account that it forgets that you need to emotionally engage, and that you're following characters, not a documentary recreating someone's experience. But in its defense, I think the fact that it's directed, produced, and stars all female cast, I think that should be appreciated and acknowledged, and I want to see more films like this. I just want films that I connect more with. A World War II setting is a great setting to explore interesting historical figures, and I think this should have had more emotional relationship to me going through it, and it just didn't. Thursday, I Am Greta. Conversely, I Am Greta, in spite of the fact that it is a documentary, and so therefore is telling me factual information, or as factual as a documentary can be, which in itself is a narrative form, this connected with me. This is one of the best documentaries I've seen in this series and in some time, that really allowed me to understand the character of Greta Thunberg, her world, her struggle, the fact that she's neurodiverse, with someone who's on the autistic spectrum, and as a teenager trying to change the world in spite of politics, in spite of all the usual rubbish that people go through when they develop a celebrity status. The fact that she hates the fact she has a celebrity status and she's trying to put the environment as the primary issue. It's such a powerful documentary about an interesting modern figure. Yes, 100% fantastic. Friday, coming to America. So this is the 2021 sequel to the 1988 classic. I don't understand what this film was trying to be. It feels like it's trying to be several things and failing to achieve any of them. There's too many callbacks to the original, to the point where it's actually showing scenes from the original. It's got that weird modern humour thing where it thinks if it creates these set pieces that are grand and big, that somehow justifies that can stand in the place of good comedy writing. And it does get too fixated on putting your new characters, that's to say Eddie Murphy's Keema Jaffa's two children, his oldest daughter and his son that he never knew he had. Despite the fact they're new characters, they are given dramatic plots, as in they aren't given a great deal of comedy to do. Possibly Lavelle, the son, has a little bit of comedy, but it's just, it feels like it's serving too many different stories and failing to just do the primary function of being funny. And it's a shame because I think Eddie Murphy is really coming back and I want to see him doing dramatic roles. And if he is going to do comedy, I want him to really find a new voice or rediscover his voice in a new way, because I don't think this was it for me. Saturday, this was... Oh, I may have to throw to Helen for this
Shakespeare in Love.
Shakespeare in Love. And I feel bad because I actually did very much enjoy this. This, of course, is the Academy Award-winning film from 1999, I believe. And despite the fact that it's incredibly metatextual and it's sort of the early stages of the self-examinating genre of film, where it's constantly turning to the audience and saying, "Oh, this is a Shakespeare. This is William Shakespeare. This is the inception of Romeo and Juliet. Look how much his actual life experiences create the story." It's very self-reflexive, too much so. But in spite of that, I think Joseph Fiennes and Gwyneth Paltrow are genuinely very well performed, and they have wonderful chemistry. And I think that carries the narrative in spite of its possibly its flaws, let's say, its self-examinatory flaws. And Sunday, The Departed. I can't say this wasn't a disappointment, because I think that this is, on a craftsmanship level, a phenomenal film, but on no level did I connect to it. I was intrigued enough to want to watch it, but I wasn't engaged enough to say that I was entirely invested. And it's a shame, because on a construction level, I can see exactly the effort and performance that all of from Martin Scorsese to the actors to the producers and editors and everyone's putting into this, the level of work. I just left feeling nothing, and that really was rather disappointing. And so that is my week. As this is a rolling platform, we'll see how this goes, whether I do this every week, but I'm trialling this out. Of course, if you are interested in what I have to say about each film in more detail, please do go to that video. And please look at my back catalogue of other films. So, I'll see you again. Take care.